What up? What up? What up? Rec League Podcast, baby. This is episode number 27. And as usual, we talking sports, we talking hip hop. Of course, and you already know we talking movies. I got some bars for y'all. And on this episode, we're gonna cover some recent news headlines, but the main meat of this podcasting sandwich is gonna be the Joker movie. Todd Phillips directed Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. The controversy that came with it, our reactions to it. Awesome Joe comes through for the first time in a few months. Regulars, Eric Sigmund, Nick Goodman coming in. And we chop it up for a long time about that movie. As far as sports, at the time of recording, it's still up in the air. Old man Lawrence could make his return and talk some boxing. My guy Roberto could come through and talk some NHL season, Major League Baseball playoffs. And then Old Man Lawrence again is going to be in the hip hop segment talking about that new Skyzoo album. Let's take it to the poll questions. I did like 3 poll questions last week, and we had a change in months. So of course I did what was your favorite September release, and my choices were It Chapter 2, Hustlers, Ad Astra, and Abominable. It Chapter 2 and Hustlers tie. You remember the most anticipated September Hustlers ran away with. But It and Hustlers tied with 36%. Abominable had 18. Ad Astra had 9. And on the flip side of that coin, I asked, what's your most anticipated October release? Joker, The Addams Family, Zombieland, or Gemini Man? And Joker runs away with this, 88%. Addams Family and Zombieland both tie at 6. And no votes for Gemini Man. I don't know how or why y'all sleeping on Will Smith. And then the last poll question, I said, besides the Joker, who's your favorite Batman rogue? Choices were Bane, Catwoman, the Riddler, and Two-Face. Two-Face won with 57%. Bane had 29%. The Riddler had 14%. And Catwoman got no votes. How are y'all sleeping on 2 of the most iconic Batman villains? And I think before I ride out and before I move on to movies, and I'm recording from my crib. I wish I had a professional spot, as y'all can probably hear, or I'm just tripping because of how I think my phone and or laptop is going to pick up noise. There could be some background noise because some stuff went down at my crib that needs repaired. But case in point. But recently in theaters, obviously this weekend Joker came out, and next weekend before the next podcast, let me reword that. I threw myself off. Forgive me. Joker just came out, and the weekend before that we got Abominable. That was, I want to say that I'm losing track of times. I'm on a new shift at work. Forgive me for getting off topic, but that's what we do in Rec League. We're not professionals, but we know enough to talk about it. Abominable came out around the last podcast. Joker just came out. Next weekend, Addams Family, Gemini Man, and Jexy. The basically the comedic Her with Adam Devine and Rose Byrne is coming out. Jexy's the one I don't even think my theater is going to get, but I'll see it if it comes here. And then the weekend before the next episode, Maleficent 2, Maleficent Mistress of Evil, and Zombieland 2, Zombieland Double Tap both come out. This past Tuesday on Blu-ray and DVD, whatever your home media format of choice is, Zombieland Far From Home and Doom Patrol Season 1 came out. And Toy Story comes out. Toy Story 4 comes out on Tuesday. The following Tuesday, I want to say The Lion King comes out. The Lion King, Crawl. I could be off. I think Crawl comes out. Stuber, I wrote down, but now I feel like I'm wrong. So let me look it up right quick. I had my dates mixed up. I wrote down what I knew was coming out, and I had my dates mixed up. So as soon as the page loads, we got Toy Story this week, and looks like some old Universal catalog titles. We have a slow loading Film AF. That's where I usually get most of my release dates from. Film AF. This AF, not film as fuck, it's Film Aficionado. That Rob Zombie movie 3 from Hell comes out on the 16th of October. The Art of Self-Defense with Jesse Eisenberg. Crawl comes out. And then that's Scarface. Scarface is coming out on 4K, but it's getting a Blu-ray release with way better cover art. Stuber does come out the same day as Crawl. I knew I wasn't tripping. And then the 22nd I'll talk about on the next episode. So not as locked in as I would hoped it was gonna be, but when I come back, we're gonna talk a lot about Joker, man. 4-man panel. Like, I love doing the four-man movie topic discussions, man. Rec League Podcast. All right, we have come to the beef and two patties of the show, because movies always takes up a big chunk of the podcast every episode, but it's how I like it. We gotta welcome back Mildly Cool Joseph, and because he been missing since Memorial Day, milk cartons and all. We're gonna start with the main chunk. We're gonna talk about Joker, the movie, the reaction. I'm gonna say spoiler free, but we're gonna spoil some, just how we do. And then a couple news topics here and there. First off, one word answer, man. Joe, what'd you think about the Birds of Prey trailer?
Oh God,
that's more than one word.
When I saw that, I immediately already knew what this was going to be all about. Because when I saw the first trailer for Joker, I immediately just said, "This is going to be an awesome film. This is going to be pure art. I mean, like an awesome piece of gold being brought to the silver screen." But when I saw this trailer for Birds of Prey, immediately I just said, "This is the Harley Quinn show, and everybody else is just a guest to this movie." And don't get me wrong, I am fascinated with Margot Robbie playing this character of Harley Quinn. I don't have a problem with it at all, but I just feel like if this is going to be a movie that's shared amongst characters, that they should at least show some of that spotlight to all of our other main characters of the film, and not just towards the one that's going to bring audiences to wanting to watch the movie. I'm very interested in getting to seeing Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. I think that he is a fascinating character in the comic books, and I think that Ewan McGregor is a great casting choice to be doing that. I think that he's an awesome actor, and I'm always looking forward to seeing what he has in store for all of us fans when this movie gets released. So I'm very much looking forward to it, but not as highly as how I would with every other DC film that's very popular to this date. If you ask me, if any DC film that I'm interested in next year is pretty much the Wonder Woman sequel, 1984. So, but Birds of Prey, I mean, I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I mean, I'm a big fan of DC more than I am Marvel. I mean, I love Marvel, but DC is really working on doing what it can to being very special, unique, and something different that no other superhero movie has in store for. So, because Warner Brothers has the opportunity, like what they did with Joker, to make their movies rated R. Unlike Marvel and Disney, can't do that. So, and I think that they have a lot of great opportunity having to grow from that. So, pretty much that's what I have on my opinion based off of that trailer.
He took your guys' one word. But he also answered another. Well, he answered what we was talking about this morning. Where was I going? Eric, what you think?
Birds of Prey trailer?
Yeah.
It was okay.
Nick?
No, it's a lot of the stuff what Joe said is it's Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. Basically Harley Quinn featuring however you want to go.
Yeah.
But
it's her album. Everybody else is a featured guest on each song.
But it's better than the first teaser trailer, and it looks
immensely.
Yeah, it's getting intriguing. So I'm not gonna be one of the first to go see it, but I will see it in theaters.
Nick's first to go see it.
But yeah, it was okay. It was pretty good. But yeah, that's it. Short and sweet for me. It's just we'll see.
Nicholas J. Goodman.
I can't wait. It's gonna be the movie of 2020. It's gonna blow everything else out of the
water. February 2020.
Yeah, Birds of Prey. I'm excited. Like I think because we talked about the poster and stuff last time. Like I'm excited that they're still keeping the DC universe going, even though they probably shouldn't. Like they should just probably stop. But it's like I'm looking at it almost like the animated movies at this point. Like you have that one that's like like that one set, like every now and then there's a movie that's part of a previous movie, and then they'll put out like a Batman versus Ninja Turtles or a Killing Joke or something that's not separated. So that's kind of how I'm looking at what DC is doing now. So it's cool. Like I saw a kid lose his mind over the poster in the theater the other day, and it
not understanding the reference.
Like he stopped and he was like, "Whoa!" Like he freaked out. I was like, maybe they know what they're doing. I'm interested to see if Black Mask is gonna look like Black Mask. The internet seems to have given up. Like they're like, "Well, wait a minute, give him a Black Mask." I was like,
because in the first trailer they didn't show Ewan McGregor full Black Mask.
Yeah, like they were like, "Wow, way to blow Black Mask," and I was like, "Well, he's probably." They didn't show his entire arc in the trailer. They just kind of showed him
really excited, saying woo.
Fingers, saying woo. So I'm excited enough. Like for a February release, like they probably won't have a lot of competition. Like I'm excited.
Yeah, I think Invisible Man comes out Kingsman kind of takes that geek competition the week after.
I hate the title of that though.
The King's Man.
I don't know why, but that just it's like rubbing the cat the wrong way. I'm like, oh, King's Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, is it crazy that my most anticipated DC movie next year is Superman Red Sun or one of the animated movies?
It's a little crazy. You should probably feel weird about that.
I do, kind of.
But
so just quick thumbs up, thumbs down. It really needs no discussion. Spider-Man's back. It was a stressful month and a half. Fuck you, Nick.
Spider-Man being back?
Get rid of Spider-Man.
Dude,
we're sick of Spider-Man.
Joe, Spider-Man was out of the MCU for 6 weeks, right? You know he's back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eric, I can't get a read.
Not a fan of Spider-Man, but yeah. I already knew that he was going to come back, so.
Oh, you're one of those. Did you know about the handshake deal?
What?
So this is why you got to be in the Instagram group chat, man. It's like an inside joke, I guess.
He's like, I was present for the handshake deal.
I'm the one that nudged Tom Holland into getting the two sides back together.
Yeah. He goes, hey, shake that hand.
The only reason I have faith in it, because when it all comes down to it, it's about money. Yeah. It's about greed.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why it wasn't totally going to be dead. But didn't think it would be this quick. That's about it.
No doubt. So, Jonah Hill is rumored to either be Riddler or Penguin in Matt Reeves, the Batman movie. But supposedly, I don't know, maybe the holdup is that he wants like double the paycheck of Pattinson. Like he's Jack Nicholson, Schwarzenegger wanting top billing and double the pay. Like Jonah Hill's a good actor, but come on, guys.
So he thinks he's Jack Nicholson in the '89 Batman. He wants.
I get.
that
I
type
don't know
of
about
deal.
billing. I'm
I
just
have
talking
no
shit about
doubt.
billing. But he wants like double the payday of Pattinson.
I have no doubt that he thinks of himself that way a little bit.
I
Not
directed
saying
mid
that he's
'90s.
good or bad, but like I picture him like feeling that way, being like, look, I'm worth. If Twilight Kid's worth this, then I'm worth. Then Superbad.
Yeah, I was in Superbad.
Yeah, like,
I'll
maybe you
go
didn't see
direct mid
Superbad.
2000s if I don't be the Penguin.
Yeah, you didn't see 2011's The Sitter. I don't know what's wrong with you. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know.
I forgot to get the source, but supposedly it is the Riddler that they want him to go for.
Wow.
I pictured him as, and like I seem to be the only one, but then they started saying like he is going to be in the Rogues Gallery. I immediately pictured him as Harvey Bullock.
That's
Because
not
they were like
bad.
super secret role, and I was like,
Hmm.
what if they got like a younger Harvey Bullock? He'd have fun with that. Then I was like, that's a little small.
That's not bad though. Like super bad. Forgive me, but War Dog's fat Jonah Hill is Harvey Bullock. That's pretty spot on.
Like,
That's a
I don't
good
know.
idea.
I'm
Then-
fat too.
Yeah. You know, he got fat for War Dogs for like no reason.
Yeah, he got like
Everybody-
scary fat for War
He
Dogs.
insisted on gaining weight for that movie, and like the dude that he played doesn't even look like that. Like Miles Teller's dude that he plays is the bald guy who's playing guitar in that one scene.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
looks
yeah,
nothing
that's
like
right.
that, and they were just like Jonah Hill. He was like, "No, I'm gonna gain like 100
It's just-
pounds for."
It was like how big he was, that laugh and just his personality just made him just more of a shitbag.
Yeah, it was like he became more like intimidating. But anyway, let's talk about War Dogs. Whatever. Let's talk about War Dogs for a minute.
The first or second most underrated
Good.
Todd Phillips movie.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Joe said he hasn't seen War Dogs before we all got on, so no spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are guns.
No dogs. I can tell you that.
But
Not about dogs.
yeah, Jonah Hill. I mean, some point in your career, you gotta flex your muscle. You know, when it comes to getting a deal, because look at him with Wolf of Wall Street. He took like 90% less. He took 60 G's, and at that point, he was like getting $6 million a movie.
Segue. You just brought up a good segue.
He got the Oscar nomination for that, though.
Yeah, he did. So,
Yeah, that's
Joe,
true.
Martin Scorsese doesn't like Marvel movies. They should be shown at amusement parks. How do you feel? Joe?
What's up?
Hello?
No, I didn't hear my name, so I didn't know who you were talking to.
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, you said something about Scorsese not liking Marvel films. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that, but it's kind. But after having to hearing that right now,
He says they're not
it kind
cinema.
of reminds me of like how Jodie Foster's her reply related towards watching superhero films, because I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but that was like maybe about several years back that Jodie Foster gave out a comment saying that superhero films in theaters are getting a lot of attention rather than all of these indie films that are like Oscar category type of movies, but yet they're not making any money because nowadays audiences are going out there watching superhero films and horror flicks and so on and so forth. But the majority is superhero movies, but after having that, I mean, I can understand where she's coming from, and then now having to hearing where Martin Scorsese is having the same type of comments. I mean, I can understand completely, but things change, things occur to happen. I'm sure that eventually in time, I mean, not anytime soon, but eventually somewhere in time, where we're going to get tired of watching superhero movies, and then another genre is going to pop up, and we're going to be favoring towards that sort of genre. So, I mean, we might just turn back into being very super excited going back to drama sometime soon, because, I mean, we're going to talk about it later on, but there's a certain movie that was just released that is not a superhero film, but it is a comic book related movie. And so I think that might pretty much just shift the table around for a lot of those filmmakers out there who are complaining about making a lot of superhero comic book movies that are very favorable to the audience.
Yeah, I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure that Scorsese just singled out the MCU because, if I'm not mistaken, he was originally a producer on Joker and then had to step away because of The Irishman, and he might have even been the main reason why De Niro even signed on.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Tis true. I hope.
Now, if I'm not
I know
mistaken,
what I mean.
at one point in time, there was supposed to be 2 Joker movies, and
The Jared
Leonardo
Leto
DiCaprio
solo?
was attached.
Oh, word?
Yeah, so I think that's what the one he was involved with, and that's the one that got scrapped.
Yeah,
Huh.
I think I heard of something like that.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it was
There
something
was
like
a
that.
Joker movie with Jared Leto attached at once upon a time.
That's what I thought.
And then there was
Yeah.
also going to be a Joker and Harley movie,
That doesn't
Right.
and
exist.
just a Harley movie, and a Birds of Prey movie, and a Suicide Squad too.
Yeah,
All at
so
once.
That's a lot of
it'll
Harley
show
Quinn.
you all the
And it
stuff
was
going
like-
on in the kitchen.
God,
So-
yeah. We could take the next hour and a half and just list all the announced DC movies that we'll never see. And then another
Like,
hour and a
in
half with
terms
all
of
these announced Sony movies we'll never see.
Yeah. In terms of like that, and like I'm sure Martin Scorsese isn't like sitting and reading things like that on the internet ever, but like reading stuff like that, I can almost understand like the opinion, like this is trash. Like, you know, anything DC announces, it's like, God damn it, the Trench movie.
Oh
But-
my gosh.
I don't know. I just think like the general consensus is just like it's a really ice cold take. Like it's just like movies are
dude.
movies. Like films are art. Art is whatever.
It's just like, Nick, you might not understand this reference, but it's just like an 80s or 90s basketball player saying that they would murder the current league. Like old heads always wipe their ass with the current wave. Like it's just, like I put it on the Rec League Twitter. Sports, music, fashion, whatever it is, the older generations always try to cut down whatever the current trend is. And superhero
It's like
movies are the
a-
current trend, man.
It's like off there on that Dave Chappelle like
Yeah.
controversy. Every old person was like, "You kids couldn't have even handled George Carlin," and it was like, George Carlin was like a little. He was kind of like the same type of comedian. It's like, yeah, we could. We heard of George Carlin. So that's kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's like people bitching about it, like being like, oh, Martin Scorsese's like it's not going to change anybody's opinion
Yeah.
on either side of the thing. Like it's not going to stop the next MCU movie from making $1 billion. It's not going to stop the
Black
Irishman
Widow.
from winning Oscars. So
Right. Just imagine everybody 25 and under. Well, I'm not watching The Irishman that weekend.
it's like your dad and his brothers are all going to sit and watch the Irishman.
I have 3.5 hours that I can do something else with my life.
Yeah, it's like
Like, okay.
lots. Of
I want to see
people.
Al Pacino in a Martin Scorsese movie. Sorry, dude.
That's like everyone in the Academy and the Screen Actors Guild is going to end up watching The Irishman at some point. So it's going to get a lot of views. It's going to win awards. Then Black Widow is going to make $1 billion in May. It's just the world's going to keep spinning. I don't know.
Basically. It's just opinions. You shrug your shoulders, man. Everybody has an opinion. Two other headlines that really haven't caught a lot of traction, and I don't even know how valid they are. Eddie Murphy supposedly said his next movie after Coming to America 2 is Beverly Hills Cop 4. And then Matthew Vaughn, please let this be true, and please let it happen. Matthew Vaughn wants to direct the MCU Fantastic Four.
Ooh.
I heard that about that.
Who hasn't started yet? Nick?
Well, I heard that about Matthew Vaughn. I hadn't heard that about Eddie Murphy. I always wondered why he was doing Coming to America first instead of just doing a Beverly Hills Cop. Or, I guess.
Wesley Snipes and
It
Rick
seems
Ross are in it.
I think we've talked about this at one point before, but I feel like a Beverly Hills Cop 4 like would have been easier to make. Like they could have written a script for that in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like they had
Well, they they did that for Beverly Hills Cop 3, and
Yeah, I like Beverly Hills Cop.
God, but like a director that he had 2 classics with, and then Beverly Hills Cop 3 just crashed and burned.
I always heard that 3, like he and John Landis kind of butted heads during 3. Like Eddie Murphy kind of let his celebrity get to him a little bit.
But the George
Actually,
Lucas
it
cameo.
was, I'm sorry, Nick, to interrupt you. That actually pull it back a little bit. Now go ahead.
It's not the best.
Go with that one.
I was just gonna say I never hated Beverly Hills Cop 3. Like I never, in terms of bad movies that like Eddie Murphy has made, I don't even think of that. Like,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Teresa
I watched
Randall.
The Haunted Mansion the other day and like wished I was dead. Like I was like, holy crap,
but
so bad.
The Haunted Mansion is coming to America compared to like Pluto Nash and Meet Dave. Y'all remember I did my Eddie Murphy binge at the beginning of the summer.
Man.
I need to go and just run through like a bunch of like newer Eddie Murphy movies. I remember the one where he didn't talk.
1,000 words.
1,000
It
words.
was stupid, but I don't remember.
I didn't
like,
hate that one.
hating it. Like I don't remember watching it and being like, "This is so bad." The other day I was watching The Haunted Mansion and I was like, "I would do anything for this to be over."
Really?
I was like, "Dude, this is so stupid. Like, why is this not funny? Why am I not laughing?"
Because it wasn't that funny.
Smirking.
Oh, man, I don't think I've seen
That was
movie.
like 2003, and Disney was like, "Well, we greenlit one movie based on a ride. Let's do another one."
Yeah.
And call Eddie.
That was the first time I saw that trailer was in front of Pirates of the Caribbean. I remember being like, Eddie Murphy, sign me up. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. And then I was just like, damn. Like, I don't even remember. Like, I'm sitting here, I don't remember what that movie was about. Let's talk about that. What was the Haunted Mansion about?
His
Like,
dead,
what
like
was
the
making
castle.
Disney money.
Yeah. So somebody in the
Really?
castle thought his wife looked like an old lover,
Yeah.
something. Okay, before we get
Yeah,
off too far
fertility.
off on a tangent, because I have
Yeah.
to moderate. Eric said I have to moderate. So,
No,
Joe,
no, fuck
Fantastic
that.
Four, Beverly Hills Cop 4. What do you think?
Well, Nick, listen. No. No, but anyway, so I think somebody asked why is Coming to America 2 coming before Beverly Hills Cop 4? And if you look at Dolomite Is My Name, most of the same crew and cast is involved. I think they just started talking, what if we did, because Ruth E. Carter, the Oscar-winning production designer, is working on Coming to America. Eddie Murphy, a lot of people, the costume designer, the production designer, the director, Craig Brewer,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's doing it.
That's right.
And yeah, and it's just like that went into pre-production while Dolomite Is My Name. And I think now they've been trying to make Beverly Hills Cop 4. Brett Ratner, when he was a thing, was supposed to make it like 10 years ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that fell apart when their Oscar deal fell apart because Brett Ratner, goofball,
He's a
decided
shitbag.
to. But yeah, I think Beverly Hills Cop 4 will happen now because Dolomite Is My Name is getting good reviews and it was good.
I'm about to say sidebar. How was it?
And that was real good. I think it's a good way to kick off his comeback, his quote unquote comeback. And I don't see Coming to America flopping.
Nah. Like it's a
even if
beloved
it's not a
classic. It's
humongous
coming
hit.
out during the holidays. It's got that Star Wars weekend on lock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there.
And flipping back, we're not going back. Well, Fantastic Four, Matthew Vaughn. That's
money.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, but and swinging back a little bit, give my opinion on the Martin Scorsese thing and the Jodie Foster. She said specifically, I'm glad you brought up, Joe. She said specifically, bad content. She said studios are putting out bad content and they're treating movies like they're theme parks. I remember that quote. And I think it's more so, well, these movies are cinema. They are art. And it's unfair. I think Martin Scorsese and Jodie Foster is coming from it from the business aspect of how the studios are treating them, just rolling them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an unfair statement to the filmmakers of the movies because they want their movies to be good. A lot of them are good. A lot of these movies are award worthy, and those kind of just like upfront statements like those are just unfair to the filmmakers.
Yeah, like James Gunn was the only like MCU director I really saw react.
Well, yeah, and yeah, it's really unfair. A couple of them. Samuel Jackson actually just he was on some red carpet. He spoke on it. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Yeah, I watched it.
But
I feel him too.
At the end of the day, it's just an opinion. He said, a lot of people don't watch his stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we said something too.
Yeah.
In a article or in an interview or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was missing.
But yeah, just like you said, it's just another person's opinion. It's not gonna hurt anything. But yeah, but don't go after the movies. Go after how the studios are treating them. It's just rolling like a conveyor belt. I understand that from that point of view. Because
like Morbius,
the way they're rolling them out, a lot of these smaller films do get unnoticed. They do, and unfortunately they go unnoticed. But that's just the way it is. That's how life in general is. A smaller person usually gets kicked down in the face.
Yep.
But make sure you're attacking the right person though. So I think that's kind of unfair, but I'm sure it's not the last we'll hear about it. But that's it on that.
Let me just make noise so we don't have any dead air. Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you sure?
Yep.
What do you think? Just real quick before we get into the main topic of discussion, what you think about Beverly Hills Cop 4 and Matthew Vaughn doing a Fantastic Four movie? Potentially, he wants to. Nothing's in stone, so nobody tries to say, "Hey, some little stupid podcast said this."
Yeah, no, the whole thing. I think that Eddie Murphy is just doing the best that he can to bring himself back into the theaters to get that popularity back because he's a really popular actor, man, and he's really great at what he does. But his very recent films that came out several years back, have really not done very well in the box office, and so I think that he's just trying to find himself back to where his roots came from, and like having to doing coming to America 2 and Beverly Hills Cop 4. I think that's where his popularity was arising, and that's when he became a really great popular actor. I mean, yeah, at first he popped up in SNL, but if you ask me, I mean, I'm not a big fan of these. I don't like people who do reboots or sequels that are taking 30 years long, like Top Gun, for example. I mean, it's very much out of control. I mean, I feel like studios nowadays are just they just don't have the capability of coming up with general ideas. Any original stories that anybody can come up with, and it's just so complicated to make a good movie nowadays that they have to just either do a sequel or a remake or reboot, a shared universe nowadays, and it's hard, and I can understand that, but I'm just like, build up some more development, find something else new. There's got to be something out there. There's always new general ideas out there. If anything, they should listen to critics such as ourselves nowadays, watching our videos, getting those ideas and saying, hey, you know what? That guy has a good point. That guy has a good point. And that guy has a good point. Why don't we put all that together and come up with this really cool new idea rather than having to just go back 30, 40 years into the past and say, hey, you know what? We're bringing this back. No, I say just leave it be, leave it as it is, move on, come up with something new, and that's that. But then what was the other one? It was Matthew Vaughn.
True or false though? You gonna be watching Top Gun opening weekend?
No, I won't.
Lies.
I won't watch it.
All of the lies.
What?
Come on, like, I already know you're a Tom Cruise fan, don't?
I'm a big Tom Cruise fan, but the thing is that I've seen Top Gun, and a lot of people are gonna hate me for saying this, but Top Gun is not really my favorite Tom Cruise movie of all time. So I'm not really fond of having to want to watch the sequel. So I know a lot of people. I said a lot of people are gonna hate me for that. But,
well, you didn't say it was bad. You just said it wasn't one of his best, one of your favorite movies.
And
it's not a bad movie.
It's not one of my favorites. It's not like something that I want to go to opening weekend. It's like saying, okay, I will go if I have enough cash to go and purchase a ticket.
And I have to correct you. Like 4 people watch and listen to this show. You're not gonna make a lot of people mad.
What's that?
I said like 4 people watch and or hear this podcast. You're not gonna make a lot of people mad.
Oh.
Man, let's get into the meat of this real quick, man. Like I want to cover
one more thing. Let me interrupt you, Randy. All right.
My moderator hat is off.
No, my fault, Randy. But I just want to say one thing to what Joe was saying. I wouldn't say that the studios can't make these original movies. I want to say that they're lazy. Yeah. Because these sequels are easy.
Make money.
These superhero movies they're playing it safe. So let's go back to the well and put these belated sequels out because we know they have nostalgia factors.
Yeah.
And this is what Disney is doing with these
remakes.
Influx of live action remakes. It's been 4 of them this year so far. Yeah. It's just laziness. You know, there's a lot of original content going out, but they're sitting in a big pile in every studio. They don't want to touch that. They want to go the safe route. And I think that's the major problem.
This is a completely different podcast topic. My bad, Eric. But when original movies come out, they don't make a lot of box office. Franchises, sequels, nostalgia. That's what makes that's what makes box office. Everybody complains. Everybody complains.
What's the reason?
Dude, I don't know. Everybody complains that they don't make original movies, but when original movies comes out, nobody goes and sees them.
Yeah, because where I think that's
like Disney. I always think of John Carter. Not that was an original, but it was original for Disney. It was like the launching part was like, here's a new character for you. Here's a new thing. We're gonna throw a lot of money at this, and people were like, whatever. So you got a Disney guy in a chair thinking like, how did Tron Legacy make money, but John Carter and Tomorrowland, like these movies aren't making money.
Right.
Let's just make Christopher Robin and see what that does. And they're just like, makes enough money. I get it.
The audience is just conditioned.
Yeah. It's like, I get it. I don't love it either, but like I get it. I get why they don't make movies like First Kid anymore. Although they should. They should make a sequel to that.
Second Kid.
Movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like Blank Check. Like Disney used to make movies like that. Now they don't because they're like, we're probably might not even break even on this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Joe, I hear him on I love Top Gun, but do I think it needs a sequel? No, not at all. 35 years later, I mean, stick with the Mission Impossible movies. Concentrate; those are great. Concentrate your energy on those. But no, it's just something little. That's just the culture now, and it's no originality.
They're even working on doing an Edge of Tomorrow sequel too, and I'm just like, why? We don't need a sequel to that.
Everybody except you wants that movie. I need an Edge of Tomorrow too. Live, die, repeat, and repeat again. How much
time has passed since the first one?
5 years.
Yeah,
5 long, sad years.
Hey,
that's a great movie.
Shout out Doug Lyman, who will never hear this shout out.
He might. The other day, just real quick, when I was at theater, he's involved in some TV show, and it said from the director of The Bourne Identity and Edge of Tomorrow. So enough people liked that movie that it didn't say Mr. and Mrs. Smith, didn't say Jumper, it said Edge of Tomorrow. So,
Swingers, The Wall.
Yeah, I was like, The Wall.
Go.
Yeah, director of The Wall. So these are the things that run through my head. I'm like, wow, enough people like that movie that they're selling it based on that movie. Anyway.
Oh, man.
So that's a wrap on our Matthew Vaughn, Fantastic Four, Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop 2 segment. I want to cover, within, an hour, maybe an hour 15, reactions to Joker. all the controversy to Joker. Eric wanted to like rank cinematic Jokers, which I can't do.
Yeah, probably have to wait on that one.
We all liked it, of course. Eric, start us off. Whether you want to talk about the build-up, controversy, hype, media coverage, reaction to the movie. I'll say spoiler-free, but say what you want.
Well, when the Joker killed, no.
When he
Spoiler free.
When he killed
All right,
Edward
so
Nygma.
I'm gonna start off with the can any of you answer this, and then I'm gonna bounce off of that. What was the controversy?
I never get your trivia.
No, is that true? What was the controversy to the Joker movie coming out?
It's like, I give up. I don't know.
I want to say that between Twitter and news outlets, that it was going to incite violence.
Violence in the movie theaters, right?
Yeah.
In like
All right.
incel community is which I get. Like to an extent, I'm like, I can see some like fedora guy reading this and being like, this is my life. Like, so like, I got it to an extent.
Well, let me ask you all this: when did it start? When did this controversy and fear of this happening start to come out?
Like weeks ago, not even when the movie was announced.
It was like shortly after it went to the Venice Film Festival. Like,
okay, that's a point I'm trying to get to. So
like after a couple screenings.
After a couple of screenings, for the critics.
Yeah.
So we all saw the movie.
Yep.
And nothing happened. There was no shootings in the movie theaters. Everybody trying to go all the way back to the Dark Knight Rises. And even that knucklehead who did that horrendous act, he said it had nothing to do with the movie. He said he just knew it was going to be a crowded place.
Yeah.
And he had his opportunity. He said it did not matter. And also, one thing everybody's bringing up, the Dark Knight Rises, what if somebody tried? But nobody brings up the train wreck screen and shooting.
I did.
Yeah, Nick did. Nick knows about it. We talked about that. But like media-wise, nobody brings that up. And people were killed in that. But it's not, quote-unquote, sexy.
Yeah.
You can't guide the narrative with that. So going to the movie, Joker, I think what got up a lot of these critics' butts is you're gonna have to get light spoily with this one.
Go for it.
Basically, I'll get too spoily. The movie criticizes the elite.
Yeah, the wealthy.
The wealthy. And this being, Thomas Wayne character, and then it criticizes them and is saying, and then in the movie, a lot of violence happens toward this elite. So, these critics who are and or work, for these big corporations, the elite, and this and that,
I never thought about that.
Oh man, this is gonna and want to have people incite violence against us. And they're gonna think of us as the bad guy when we're just trying to kick down our crumbs to the little folk. We're doing good. And I think that's where a lot of this criticism is coming from. And I think in a sort of jacked up way, the media actually wanted something bad to happen at one of these screenings just to prove their point.
I believe it.
And that's where I'm coming from with that. This controversy is unwarranted. And I was going to see this movie thinking it was going to be a god dog Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the violence.
Yeah, I was too, honestly.
Like, I'm ready.
It's there. The movie, there is violence in the movie, but it's disturbing. But I could pull out 5 other movies from John Wick killed 8,800 people in John Wick 3 earlier this summer.
Okay, Todd Phillips.
Yeah, but it's a good point.
I saw Three from Hell a couple weeks ago, and that was not only way more violent, but like uneasy, like the way, like the brutality of it. I was like, ugh. And there were people in there like clapping and shit, like Rob Zombie fans. I was just like, I'm in
But
danger.
you know what? You don't hear a single
place.
ounce, not a single ounce, not a blurb, not a Twitter tweet of coverage with that movie.
Yeah, I was like tiptoeing in the parking lot, like I'm in trouble.
But yeah, I'm glad Joker is successful, critic-wise and now financially.
It just broke the October opening weekend.
Yeah, and I'm without because that was kind of was foul that the media was trying to basically push that BS.
And again, to like be like real geeky, it was like negative coverage on a DC movie.
Yeah, that too. Didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
And but yeah, the movie itself, without all that, and basically now that's out of the way. And hopefully, goofball is trying to come up, but just like the other knucklehead said, it didn't have anything to do with the movie. And
like Joe didn't know this, and I don't think I did either. But one of y'all in the group chat said the dude back in 2012 didn't call himself Joker. That was something the media spun to let the news carry.
I never. They were like, he walked in and he had colored hair, and like his hair was orange.
Not green.
Yeah.
I just remember being like, that has nothing to do with the Joker. He looks like Heat Miser. Like I was
Carrot
like, that's
Top.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to call him Lilu from The Fifth Element just because he had But yeah, that's But the movie itself, I wrote a review about it. It's excellent. It's a great performance, and like I said, I wonder who the other 4 Best Actor nominees are going to be for the Oscars. Because I'm just done if they don't give Phoenix a nomination at the least.
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Because
didn't get a nomination.
Yeah, like I said, I think on my Letterboxd review, like I would not be surprised if this ended up being like that DiCaprio Gyllenhaal just slays everything during award season and gets no love for it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna get nominated. It might not win. There's like a strong possibility. I would say that it won't win just because. I'd be surprised if it didn't get a nomination.
Because Chris Evans in Knives Out is coming for that award.
Yeah.
Or Kevin Hart in Jumanji.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's not much left. Taylor Swift and Cats.
There you go. I finally saw the Cats trailer before Abominable. By the way, yuck.
Yes.
Oh, you just watched it?
Yeah, like everybody went bananas. Like another sidebar, like a regular thing now. But when that Cats trailer first came out, I didn't watch it. I'm not gonna go see it. I don't care. It played before Abominable.
You talking about opening day? Shit.
When I saw the trailer in the theater, I got a hairball.
Oh man, I still haven't seen the trailer in the theater. I'm bummed. I wanna like see it.
Happy.
I want to stand up and do that Joker dance to the Cats trailer, like while it plays. Like this is it. This is my
fucking dance.
Anyway,
Dude, like, I'm not one of those who like, oh my gosh, his performance was just so great and locked in that I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. Hey, that was Joaquin Phoenix, man. He was in every scene and he killed it.
Yeah.
That's why I did mine. It tipped my rating to a 4 out of 5. I was leaning real hard into a 3.5 because I felt like I was more mixed on the movie than most people that I was reading. But I was like thinking about it the next day. Like it stayed on my mind, and the fact that he was just so good, like nonstop good. Because it could have been really stupid. It could have been like Jared Leto, like the cackle, like trying hard to be weird.
Yeah.
Not to say Jared Leto's bad. I'm just saying it could have been like, it could have leaned harder into that, and I'd have been like, oh, that didn't work. But like, I think it kept the movie afloat for me in times when I was like kind of not loving what was happening. I was like, he's really committed to this. So I tipped it to a 4, almost purely based on the performance, which is rare for me.
How many times did he bang his head on something?
Yeah, like a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like he ran into that door hard as fuck. Like he turned around, I was like, whoa. And like,
but
yeah.
Another thing, other than Best Actor, there's one award I think should be nominated for, and technically it would be screenplay, but technically because it's based on something, it will have to be Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah.
Because it's based on some previous material, which is the character of the Joker.
Yeah.
They said the basis was The Killing Joke, but
yeah,
they
except for that last
that was one of those
part.
things where I kept rolling my. This is our own thing, and I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Like,
it's your own spin.
And that was my thing.
really just,
He's not really the Joker. until like the very last scene. It didn't
Yeah.
have to be called Joker. It didn't need Gotham or Arkham or Wayne or any of those like key phrases that would clue you into a comic book atmosphere. But
Yeah.
If it wasn't based on the Batman character, they wouldn't have had to change a thing
yeah,
to make that movie that they wanted to make.
Except
Exactly.
take out a couple of names
Yep.
in
But
the
yeah,
last
just
10
the
minutes.
name or whatever.
But I
like,
think that plays to the strength of the movie is that they're not hanging on that. You know what I mean? They're building up the character. They're going into the psychological of the character, and they're touching on very real issues like
Yeah.
the mental health on programs losing funding and abuse and a lot of stuff. So they could have avoided all that and just had a silly plot device, without any explanation. But they really, I got to give I. Phillips as a screenwriter and his co-writer credit for diving into it like that, because when what happens does happen, when he starts to do those things, is you're not happy about it, but you get mixed feelings. You understand why certain behavior is. Then the speech at the end, without being spoiler, for most part, that speech at the end is not wrong.
yeah. And it's like during the road trips and the old schools and Starsky and Hutch, The Hangover, did Todd Phillips have this in him the whole time?
That's a good question.
It's crazy.
Looking into that guy.
Right.
Joe, chime in.
Well, you guys know me that if I open my mouth, it's gonna be hard for me to shut it. So
Oh no.
that's why I try not to talk over you guys, because I'm very interested in everyone's opinion. So and I don't want to interrupt. So and I really do enjoy everybody's unique take on the movie. I mean, I myself recently did a review and a spoiler review based off of the movie. I quite normally don't do that. I don't do 2 videos based off of one film. I usually just do everything all within one video at a time. But one thing I do have to mention, though, that I was actually thinking about while we were discussing these topics is that you know how people always complain about how Uncle Ben keeps on getting killed off every single remake of the Spider-Man series? Well,
so much
think
worse.
about
We're about to throw
think
caution
about
to the wind, guys.
The Wayne parents keep getting shot down in the alleyway. It happened already that I can come up with 4 times. In the first Batman, in Batman Begins, Batman versus Superman, and now in Joker. And I'm like, I remember when I was in the theaters and I watched that, and we already knew that was going to happen. We already knew it was going to be a part of the film. There's really no spoiler to that. But when it happened, I'm kind of getting exhausted by it. I was like, oh god, here we go again. They're dead once more again. And I mean, I know that it's a huge depth and a deep, darker version in relation to our Batman character. The things that that the boy experiences to becoming what he's grown up to be. But I got really tired of it. I'm just like, wow. I mean, I would rather see Uncle Ben get shot down more than the Waynes, because to be honest with you, we don't really even know that much about Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne. Every time when they're introduced into a certain film, they're just bam, shot down. They're dead. We don't know anything about them. We don't know what's so great about them. Why do they have an emotional connection to their son? We don't really get to see that relationship. Yes, they're parents, and then that's their child. They love them and everything like that. But I want to see some growth. When they had the Gotham series, I was actually expecting to see Thomas and Martha Wayne's story put into development until the series finale, where they do get shot down at the end. I know a lot of people don't like that, but it's just my personal opinion. But the thing is that they get shot down at the very beginning of the series, and I'm just like, when are these guys ever going to just stay alive? And I just want some personal growth with those characters. I really want to just have some deep connections with the two. Especially with Martha Wayne, she never really ever has a line. She really doesn't have a character. It's either she's just pretty much just there to get her pearls broken off, and then that's it, which is a huge part of that sequence.
Hey, Batman's parents are my parents, bro.
What's that?
Batman's parents are my parents.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like I want to have that same experience too. I want to have that deep personal connection with those two. I want to have I want to feel for their death. And for me, I never really feel for their death. I'm just like, here they go, getting killed off again. So
I think Batman Begins did the best job of illustrating how important they are to Gotham.
Yeah, I was gonna say Batman Begins probably they showed a little bit of Bruce and his dad.
But I would love to see at least their own personal film or their set of series, and just I would love to have some more connection with those two.
If Pennyworth is successful, then maybe we'll get the Waynes before they die.
Yeah. I feel like that's the Pennyworth, like that show that's on. That'll be the series finale of that. It'll just be them dying again.
But you know what, Joe? This is where I think Warner Brothers dropped the ball with that. It would be different to an extent, but it'd be us knowing something about at least one of the parents, the Flashpoint.
Yeah.
And imagine they did that and Thomas Wayne to be the focus. I think Warner Brothers really dropped the ball.
But you could get all the Martha you want as the Joker.
Is that going to be Jeffrey Dean Morgan? Is that going to be Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Brett Cullen, or who's that going to be, or is it going to be recasted?
No, if they would have made it,
to do it.
Please not Brett Cullen.
Campaigning for it.
He was so stoked. And they had what's her name, Lauren Cohan, as the mom. Like, you have to think maybe they cast those actors in hopes that they wanted to do something else.
Yeah.
At least in my mind, pretending that Warner Brothers.
Because Zack Snyder was the Flashpoint was supposed to be an important part of his story until they scrapped it.
Why don't they just do it? Like, what are they waiting for?
No, that Flash movie, I don't think it's even gonna happen.
Well, I heard. I don't know if that's legit or not, but it's a rumor that Andy Muschietti, the director of the It movies, was hired to direct the movie, because that's what what's his name, the Flash, Barry Allen. He wanted the movie to be a lot more darker and scarier, different compared to all the other DC movies, and I think it's an interesting take, but it's not really in depth to what the true character really is. I find that the Flash is a little comedic for me, like Deadpool in a sense. Not as highly as Deadpool, but in a comedic fashion.
Yeah, that's kind of something that the show kind of drops the ball on. Like, he's not as quippy as I know the Flash to be.
Yeah, the movie would have to be like kind of Aquaman, Shazam type tone.
Yeah.
It would have to be, and I feel like they probably had a script or something that he probably read it and was like, I'm an actor, and I'm this. And they were like, no, but it's going to be funny. You were funny in Justice League.
Oh, man.
I just push people and run away.
Yeah. Like, he was funny. I thought he was fine. Like, I don't know. Again, we could just just go off and just keep talking about the DC universe.
Oh, no, this is Joker. I have to moderate.
Yeah.
Joker.
We're not talking about the DC universe. We're talking about the other one now.
Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to say I was mesmerized. It's kind of like It. Like, y'all know my love for It Chapter 2. Like, it's one of those that, like, I'm not calling perfect, but I really can't, like, pin down a flaw. Like, even with the Waynes, I just thought that was, like, the cherry on top of the most famous rich people in Gotham getting gunned down by the lower class. And, I mean, it's an important part as far as the theme of that movie. And then, like, you know how the trailers, like, showed him, like in, like, the archway, that doorway with the plain white, and I don't remember, like, because, that's about to lead to a big moment in the movie because he's getting ready for, like, that finale and all of that. I don't remember seeing anybody else in that clip in the trailer. And, like, it's so many moments that stand out. Like him and Zazie. And then what that led to. Like, that was that was like a punch in the face.
And that's what I was saying. That speaks to the mental aspect of, and that was real. And then
how that goes deeper into the rest of the plot. Like, it was just crazy how it all was executed.
You didn't see that coming, though, with her?
No.
You didn't? Because I did.
For a split second?
No, honestly, no.
For a split second when he was there, If y'all know what I'm saying, for a minute I was like, why is she tripping?
Yeah, me too. I'm like, what happened?
And then I was like,
Nah,
oh.
I had it in the back of my mind throughout when she came to the door and was like, "Are you following me today?" He was like, "Shit, maybe. I don't know. You should come to my comedy show." I was like, he acted different in that scene. There's something. I was like, I'll bet this is in his head, and I went with it the rest of the movie. But like, I was thinking in the back of my mind the whole time. Like, I was like, I'll bet there's gonna be. I thought maybe it would be more than her, but I was like, there's gonna be parts of this movie that are like not what they seem.
Mm-hmm.
And then his whole kind of life kind of started to unravel, like at one time with his mom and the whole thing. And I was like, I'm so smart.
I thought he was just riding the high off of the train.
No, like I was like, she's in the hospital, like kissing his forehead, like, you want a coffee? I was like, bullshit. I was like, this isn't. His mom was like, you smell like cologne. I was like, no, he doesn't. Look at him.
There's something that I do want to mention is that after having to watching the movie and watching a whole lot of reviews and a lot of interesting ideas about what viewers were thinking while watching the movie was the fact that what was real and what was fake, because there were some scenes that really identified themselves as part of his mental imagination and what was reality, but lowering itself towards the ending of the movie, there was a lot of question marks. There was a lot of question marks asking, is this real or is this fake? And what came to a very interesting idea was that there was a certain scene where it could have cut off, and the majority of the rest of the film was actually just part of his imagination.
Yeah.
And I know that, like what Randy said, that this is spoiler free, so I'm not mentioning it. Of course, everyone has seen it.
Oh, you've already killed that.
Yeah.
I could go ahead.
Just go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. When he empties out his fridge and he goes inside, and then the scene just cuts off. I heard that, and I think it's a really cool idea that he killed himself in that fridge, and then once it cuts off, the next scene is him getting a phone call that he's invited to be on the Murray show, and like that seems a little too impossible for me to believe that that he's going to be brought up. Him, one out of a million people out in the world, that he's chosen to go and be with one of his iconic heroes and in live television. So, and I'm like thinking, okay, it's a really cool idea, but then it just takes away a whole lot of the idea of what the Joker is and who he becomes, his whole origin coming to a full completion. And so I thought it was a really cool idea, but I'm really glad that they did not, reveal that. So, but a lot of people were saying as well too that when the car gets rambled down by the ambulance, and then it comes to where he gets pulled out of the car and put on top of the car. He wakes up, he emerges, he's glorified, he's king of the clowns now, and I mean, people are saying that was just an imaginary sequence in the movie, that he was in that moment, and then after that, of course, he's arrested once more again and put into the asylum, and thinking, okay, well, maybe that was part of the joke as to why he was telling his therapist you wouldn't understand what the joke was. So so that's what I mean. It's a lot of question marks here, and it was something that I really wanted to bring up because it was very interesting. It's like in how Inception is. You don't know if this is a dream or if it's not a dream. So and I kind of like the idea as to what they were thinking about, and that's what really brings a lot of interest to the movie. So that's it.
We tiptoeing on an hour. Let me cut it off. All right. It's been a few minutes and I forgot what I wanted to say. Damn, I really forgot what I wanted to say.
This is great.
Nick, say something.
Oh man, I don't know. It's like we were talking Joe's theory about maybe he killed himself in the fridge. Like, that's cool. I feel like people pull out the interesting theories. I don't think that that's what happened. I feel like I picture Todd Phillips writing the script just be like, "Yo, what if he got in the fridge?" Like that's his like, what if he was just so pissed that like he got in the fridge?
That's what I wanted to say.
They left it at that.
First,
but
Joe,
another thing is, I'm sorry, Randy.
There's an Instagram account. He's on Twitter too, but he's the king of the clowns. And when y'all know who I'm talking about, but when he got in the refrigerator, I was just like, man, what the fuck is going on? And then what is he doing? And then Joe, there's a reference around that time with the refrigerator time. Nick knows what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure Eric knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's a reference to another Todd Phillips movie. Did you catch it?
Okay.
Okay, it's not a yes or no.
I'm intrigued as to wondering, well, what is it exactly that you're referring to? Because I love Easter eggs. I love references to other related films. So I really have no idea as to. Oh,
there it is.
Oh my God! It just popped in my head. Is it Mr. Chow? Is it Mr. Chow?
You're close, but no.
Hangover 2. He got locked in the freezer.
Was he in the movie?
Right. Did Ken Jeong just pop up and ruin Joker for me?
It's like, wait, what?
Okay, no. Since you completely flushed the non-spoilers, when he's like sitting there before his like former coworkers show up, and he's got his face like all white. I think I could be like completely mixing scenes. He's watching the Robert De Niro talk show. The guest on the talk show, his name is Ethan Chase. You with me?
Okay.
You with me or you lost?
Still the only one I got excited for.
No, just tell me because my mind is really.
Ethan Chase is Zach Galifianakis' real name and due date.
Oh my God, yes.
Ethan.
The mind blown emoji.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow.
I didn't catch it in watching it, but somebody told me. Like, did you realize? Yeah.
No,
I just caught it immediately, and I was just like, "That's
I love
hilarious to me."
Yeah.
I'm looking around.
As a matter of fact, Randy, you posted something of due dates a little while back, and
I watched
I liked it because I love due date. Due date is really awesome.
Due date's hilarious. It's like kind of a rip off of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but like it's really fun.
Yeah, it's like, really funny.
Yeah, it's definitely underrated. Just like on War Dogs. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, War Dogs. But, if I hadn't seen War Dogs, I don't know what I'd do.
But let me touch on one of these theories.
War Dogs is like Snow Dogs.
Nick, Eric has the floor.
Snow Dogs. Oh, that Cuba Gooding Jr., why did you bring that up?
Arctic Dogs.
What's better, Snow Dogs or War Dogs?
No, definitely Snow.
Or Arctic Dogs.
Oh, man. But, so back in the 80s, the movie takes place in 1981, which is crazy, but that's the year awesomeness came into existence. But enough about that.
Joe, you were born in 81?
Huh?
You're awesome, Joe.
Yes, I am.
So you were born in 81.
No, I was not.
No, Joe, this is like probably what, 23 or something.
One of you were lying.
Really? Wow. You're cold, buddy. You're cold.
Oh no, you're a young lad. I'm the oldest out of all of us, so.
Yeah, no, I was born in 83, honestly.
83.
I love not being the second oldest anymore.
83 was a good year, I remember.
Y'all making me look like
I remember.
No, I'm sorry, I'm getting off my point.
I definitely
no,
remember.
but I was born in 81. But,
back to 81.
So the movie, you were talking about him. It seemed kind of far-fetched from him getting invited to the talk show based on the footage that they saw. But you got to think, go back in the day, do a little research. That was going viral back in the day.
Johnny Carson.
When these comedy clubs used to do that for real. They recorded so people could take them, and then they would force them to pay for their audition tapes so they could take them to other places and send them in. But that was a very common thing back in the day. Somebody would bomb or do good, they would get invited on to Carson or Dave Letterman. So that's not really as far-fetched as one would think if you were familiar with talk shows back in the day. So it would be, and just like he said, we're in spoiler territory, him coming on, you just wanted to embarrass me, you know, because you...
As naive as he was, he like had that down.
Right. But I just thought that was an interesting topic because a lot of younger cats than us will be like, oh, they'll probably look at it that way.
That's weird. They wouldn't do that.
That's
That's why they would have like Andy Kaufman on talk shows all
He's
the
shaming
time.
him.
because he was just weird and they wanted to see what would happen. Like that's.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I buy this. I buy that they would want him on the show. For sure.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And but you were speaking again to his. This one is obvious because it's at the beginning of the movie. And they let us know that it wasn't real when he imagined himself in the audience and he's talking like, oh, I think that's one of the best scenes in the movie because it immediately tells you where his mind's state of mind is at.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this dude's a little off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a father to him. Like he loves watching that show. Makes him feel.
That's where the very, very dope parallels to the King of Comedy kicked in, just right off the bat. And De Niro being in that opposite seat.
But yeah, that's that's all. That's my thoughts on that. But yeah, definitely. And like you were saying about Todd Phillips, did he always have this? Did he get trapped in the genre? Because if you look at the Hangover movies, especially Part 3, the Hangover 3 is not really a comedy.
It's darker, yeah,
and way less funny.
Yeah, it's like it has comedic elements in it. It's like a thriller with comedic elements in it.
Yeah,
and you can see
he let Mr. Chow take over those sequels, and that's the only reason I dislike them. I don't dislike 2. Like 2 is still funny, but there's just way too much Chow.
I kind of like 3 more. I think I like 3 more than most people because everybody complained about 2, how it was just the same.
Being too same, being
and so 3 was not like the first 2 at all, and I appreciated that. I think more than most.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like it. Yeah,
I was like, he tried with 3.
Yeah. I still agree with too much Chow, but 3 I do like better than Part 2.
I was like, they probably should have just killed Chow at some point, and it would have been easier. Like, I'm rewatching Breaking Bad, I'm watching all this stuff, and I'm like, they should have killed Walter White, way before. He caused a lot of trouble. So anyway, sorry. That's where I'm at, though. I'm like,
he is the danger. The danger doesn't die. You can't die when you are the danger. When you are the one who knocks, you can't die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a massive liability, and he caused a lot of problems for a lot of people.
It's my second favorite show ever.
Well, now that I know, this is not one of our topics, but I really do love what Nick was bringing up earlier about The Hangover 3. Because I actually love Hangover 3 because of the same reasons that you brought up. Because Hangover 1 and 2, even though that they're great, funny films, they are the same movie. And a lot of people didn't like that idea about what Hangover 2 was. So they changed it up a notch, and they used Hangover 3 being its own unique set of film. But if you asked me, I loved my favorite part of the whole entire Hangover Part 3 was the ending scene where they actually do wake up after the hangover. So I'm just like, that would have been a great cliffhanger if Hangover Part 3 was a Part 1, Part 2 set of movies. And I know that it would be a money grabber, but the thing is that it would have been great if it was, because it did feel like a Part 1 to a Part 2 series of the Part 3 movie. And I think that's what they should have done. I mean, it would have been really great to see what happened, what occurred after that. So instead of it being, Part 3, instead of being Part 3, it would have been Part 3, Part 1, Part 3, Part 2. And I don't know, it would have been a great experience just getting to seeing what happens after that.
Now, see here. In the first movie, the brother disappears. In the second one, the fiance's brother disappears. That's completely different. Vegas, Bangkok, they're completely different. I'm sarcastically making a point that The Hangover and The Hangover Part 2 are not the same movie. Yeah, roofies and whatever he put in the marshmallows. In the first one, in the first one, there's a tiger and they find a baby, and there's a monkey in the second one, and Zach Galifianakis' head gets shaved, and there's a Mike Tyson tattoo. Completely different.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like that's how they sold it too.
Yeah.
I feel like Todd Phillips wrote it. He's like, "Hey, here,
it's not the same." Different.
Right.
And don't forget the boob job. Don't forget the boob job.
That kind of upsets me about 3. Like, we need a 4 just because of that. Like, Ed Helms woke up with titties.
That was funny. Like, I laughed. Like, people talking about threes not fitted. I'm like, I laughed at it.
Yeah, I laughed
Shitty.
at it. But if they did a 4, he just wouldn't have him. Like, he'd be in his first scene, just like the tattoo. It was gone in the
Yeah.
first scene of the third one.
Right.
It would be interesting to see as to how is it that he got himself away from getting rid of the boob job. I mean, I think he would have kept it and made it seem like, oh, well, he's wearing a sports bra the entire time to hold those babies in there.
No, Jamie Chung character would have been like, nah, bro, we got to do something about this.
Oh, I'm glad you've had 6 years to get rid of your boob job. It's like, I still have them. There's never going to be a 4th one.
Nope.
Nah, there shouldn't
They're
be.
like a respected actor now.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm just saying, while the third was in production, they should have just come up with the idea of developing it into being 2 films, since it's a hangover movie, but yet it doesn't have anything involving the hangover. So, it's a setup to another movie. So that's what I was trying to come up with.
but it's like here's my rerouting back and my moderating. Here's with Todd Phillips' recent comments about how everybody in woke culture is so easily offended, and all his comedies were to a degree offensive in one way or another.
Oh yeah.
And all this acclaim this movie's getting, he's never going back to comedy. It's not impossible, but I just don't see it.
He's gonna like throw his name on whatever he does from here on out as like the writer director of Joe.
Yeah.
And Old School. Like, it's gonna be like, it's not gonna make any sense. So anything he does, it's like, me.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be Christopher Nolan. This movie and the Dark Knight trilogy. Joker and the Hangover trilogy.
Well, check this out, you guys. Check this out. Okay. Now, we know that Joker is not a comedic film, okay? But there were a lot of comedic elements
It's not a tragedy.
in the movie that was very terrible to laugh at, but it was funny enough to laugh. I mean, we're already throwing spoilers here. I just want to say this one out loud is that it was disturbing but funny at the same time when he kills one of his coworkers with the scissors. And the small guy, he's freaking out. He's just like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And Joker, he's just sitting there and he's just like patiently like, I'm going to be on the telly. Isn't that fascinating? And, he's like, you can go. I mean, you're fine. But once he tries to leave, he just snaps.
And he
like,
runs
and I'm just like, and he runs to the door and he can't reach, and everyone's like, oh my God, no, this is terrifying and funny at the same time.
Can I jump in though? As crazy as this movie and this character might be, the craziest thing he did was let a witness to a murder just go.
Yeah.
Just let it. And so that was one of the things, like,
Right, but that's why the cops came after him. He probably went to those detectives. And
I mean, it was interesting when he took off the chain lock and then he creaked the door open, but yet he closed it right back, and I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna do it. I don't know how he's gonna kill him. But he's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
But no, he lets him out. He just tells him, you know what, you're the only one that was ever nice to me, so you can go. And I'm like thinking, no, he can't just let him go. He's probably gonna kill him in the hallway or something. I don't know, but no, he just lets him go. But I'm just like, I was very thankful that he let him go, because I mean, it would have been really, really terrifying, more terrifying than how he killed the other guy with the scissors. And I'm just like, wow, this is really deep and dark. And I'm just like, man, it's weird and crazy to find that it's entertaining to watch. And I'm just like, wow, this really, really twists your mind throughout the entire film. I mean, that's what I loved about this. I mean, this is a pure gold magic film put together. This is art that's in development that people are going to be talking about in decades. I mean, because I brought it up in my review in the video saying that, you know what, it's been 11 years since Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker, and yet people now today are still talking about it. And I know for a fact that people 11 years down the road, not only will they be talking about Heath Ledger's performance, but now they're going to be talking about Joaquin Phoenix. And
comparing them and stuff.
And the thing is, my own personal opinion is, I saw Randy's review on the review of the movie, and he said things. He said, like, don't compare Joaquin Phoenix to the Joker, which I highly agree. But the way that I looked at it in my persona was that this is Heath Ledger, and then here's Joaquin Phoenix. Okay, Joaquin Phoenix, to me personally, is higher than Heath Ledger, but not within the same level. He is taking it high in a higher level to another direction. That's what I saw. He's not trying to compare himself to Heath Ledger. He's not trying to be better than him. He's being his own unique individual character, which is why I brought it to the conclusion of going in a different direction rather than having it being in the same level as what Heath Ledger did.
And now Joe kicks a segue. I like what you did. You said we're going to wait till next show, Eric, man, but I'm going to moderate right quick. We might as well just rank the Jokers real quick, because why not? And we're going to count Mark Hamill. The Mask of the Phantasm was in theaters. Count Galifianakis. Lego Batman. I'm not really connected with like the Adam West, Cesar Romero stuff. Like it's good. I've seen it. But he's going to be like toward the bottom. And then see, that's like, I can put like last and last A, because like I didn't hate Jared Leto. He fit what they was doing, but he's like one of my least favorite interpretations.
So top 3 or top 5?
I don't know. I think I would go, because like looking at it from like the movie and the performances, I'm gonna put Heath Ledger. Then I'm gonna go Jack Nicholson. Like Tim Burton Batman '89 is like one of my like first all time favorite movies when I was a little kid. And then I'm gonna put Mark Hamill third. If we go in top 3, man, Joaquin don't even make it for me. Like as a movie, yeah, like that movie might be better than those, but as a Joker performance, I wouldn't.
I get what you're saying there. That's fair.
Cause like I was telling y'all, my bad, but like I was telling y'all, like as a comic book movie, I struggle where to even put this.
Yeah, that's all right. Joaquin is fair. It's
as a character study, it's amazing.
Fair.
Hey, no, man.
No, I'm just messing with
We don't
you.
call the moderator stupid.
No, that's legit though. I get what you mean by that. Yeah. So that's your list.
Off the fly and not writing down and really analyzing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think all of ours is gonna be off the fly.
Well, I just wrote mine down right now. So.
Right.
Joe, you fucking up the rec league. You fucking up the theme of the rec league.
It was really, I knew that we were going to be talking about this, and so I went ahead and just right in my mind. I'm like, okay, I gotta throw out the ranking system here.
Rec league doesn't plan. Rec league is a mess.
There's a total of
unorganized.
7. There's a total of 7 right now, and 7 is Jared Leto. Okay, 7 is Jared Leto. Number 6, Cesar Romero.
So we doing top 5 though. So just 6 and 7.
I mean, I just did it right now. So 6 is Cesar Romero. 5 is Zach Galifianakis. 4 is Jack Nicholson. 3 is Heath Ledger. 2 is Joaquin Phoenix, and 1 is Mark Hamill.
3.
I guess.
Huh?
That's like,
That's where you're gonna upset a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like my opinions are very, different compared to all other people's opinions.
But that's why the Joker is such an interesting character. You can't necessarily disagree with your list.
Yeah.
You know, if you going Mark Hamill, he wasn't a good. You can't say that because he was a great Joker, and that's the thing. That's why this character is so awesome, and why you can reinvent it so many different ways. Because that's the awesome thing about the list.
Not only was he within the animated series, he was also with some animated Batman films, and then he was within the video games. So I mean, I find that he is the most classic and top notch for me. I mean, we're going off topic here, but when I say this, I'm just going to throw out this comment.
Like we've never done that before.
When I heard that he was going to be the voice for Chucky, I'm thinking, okay, great. I'm going to hear the Joker laugh with this Chucky doll. But we didn't get that, and that was a little disappointing for me.
So, we got
just like the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
This is for Tupac. That's a Joker. Nick, rank them.
All right, I wish I had a pen because I'm thinking of everyone. So like,
Maybe you want to borrow my pen?
yeah, thank you. So, wait, Joe, did you rank Galifianakis?
Yeah, he had him in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gave him a 5.
I gotta put him like last, just because I don't. It was fun for that,
Yeah.
but wasn't. It was just kind of a cute, like, hey, we got Galifianakis to voice the Joker.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think other people, like Michael Emerson, voiced the Joker for the Dark Knight Returns. I thought he was awesome.
Troy
And the dude
Baker.
that- what's his name? Dude that plays the voice of Bender on Futurama played the voice of the Joker in Under the Red Hood. I thought he was awesome. But anyway, I got to put Galifianakis last just because it was just Zach Galifianakis as the Joker.
Yeah.
6. I guess Jared Leto. But mostly just because I don't think he got a fair shake. I would like to see him do the Joker again.
Yeah.
Like,
Have if his
where he's
performances.
like a part of the plot, not just like there because we need someone to be there. But just for what we got, being in that movie for 5 minutes, it was just a little silly. Then I guess 5, I would have to put like Cesar Romero, who again, great in context of what he was in.
Yeah.
You're not putting that Joker up against Christian Bale's Batman and seeing what happens. Like in that movie and that 60s show.
The crisis crossover on the CW might try to do it.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna do something. Like let's just put them all in there, just see if this works. Then I'm already who we got 4.
Nicholson, Hamill, Ledger.
Hey, does the I'm sorry to interrupt Nick here, but
Yeah.
I forgot to mention about the other Joker that was in the Gotham series.
Cameron
He was
Monaghan.
He was a really great Joker. So sorry to interrupt you, Nick.
If you guys heard the moderator,
Yeah.
Cameron Monaghan was not in a theatrical cinematic movie, nor was your Emersons and Bakers and
Or
Benders.
Caesar. No, that's not true.
Okay.
No, yeah,
Cesar
yeah.
Romero was in a movie.
Romero
Yeah,
was in a
you
movie
counted.
because if he wasn't, then the moderator would look bad.
Yeah. Romero was in a movie. I guess 4, I've got to put Jack Nicholson, which is kind of painful, but it's like in terms of like just I guess the top 4 Jokers are just iconic at this point. It's like you can't. But I guess 4, I've got to put Nicholson just because while it was great and like Randy said, like that movie is like a part of me.
Yeah.
And I love it. He was really just Jack Nicholson as the Joker. It wasn't like a transformative. Like, you ever watch Anger Management when he's on the plane with Adam Sandler and he's like laughing? He's just doing the Joker laugh. Like, it's like, oh, that's Jack Nicholson. That's just what he does when he does comedy. That's him. That's it. That's like the only reason I'm like.
Well, you look like Eckhart from that Batman movie, so I'm going to tell you to think about the future.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I guess 3. I guess 3. I would have to put Joaquin Phoenix, mostly just because it's new and he was only kind of the Joker for the last half hour or so. But the idea of that Joker doing something else has me really excited. I don't know if they will. They probably won't. But like, he has potential to move up in the list, I guess I should say. 2, I guess I would say Mark Hamill. He's only not 1 because it's just a voice performance. But he would probably be number 1 if that was a live action like thing that you could like, him acting and doing the stuff. But
He'll be live action on the CW.
Do what?
So he'll be live action in that CW crossover.
Is he? Is that true?
I'm pretty sure he's in it. Like, I'm not blowing smoke
true?
this time, but I'm pretty sure he's in it.
I knew Batman was there, but I didn't know Mark Hamill was doing it. Okay.
They've
But-
announced so many people coming back that I've lost track. I've
Yeah,
seen
they don't
fan
even
art
know.
of Hamill, so I think he's doing it.
They don't know who's showing up. They just sent out a bunch of invitations. They're like, we sent out a group text. We'll see who shows up.
So your number 1 is because you're not sticking to movies in the theater. Your number 1 is from that stupid animated series from the mid 2000s, right?
Yes, the monkey
With the dreads.
looking one with he wore like the straight jacket.
Still Batman.
Beautiful.
God.
It's like Joe's talking about art, and that's all that. Every time he says art, like gold, that's what's popping in my head. I'm like, that dude used to hang on. So nah, number one, I've got to say Heath Ledger. Just because like even like this Joker movie wasn't like people were like I was shocked, I was left cold, and I like wasn't shocked by any of it. I feel like if Heath Ledger's didn't exist, I might have been. I feel like everything Heath Ledger did as the Joker was so new and different at that time that it's like anything that's followed it, and there's been a lot at this point. Like anything that followed it, I'm not like I have no choice but to compare it. I'm like, well, I just remember watching The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger walking around in that nurse's outfit. I remember my jaw being like, oh, like I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like,
if we're going there, when he like turned around and took the wig off, I was like, oh no, that wasn't really a nurse.
Yeah, like it was like I can't believe they're going this way with this movie. Like I thought it was over up to a certain point, and then it was like, you know, he's blowing up the hospital dressed like that. Like they're really going all out. And yeah, then that set it off when the thing didn't work.
That was a funny moment. Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing something special. So it's like you can't help but compare it. Like it's like he did the whole dark background thing and like changing up his story and everything like that. It's just everything about that performance worked in like ways that other things don't usually work. Like Randy says, "Motherfucker."
Y'all didn't hear the doorbell?
No.
Just a tad.
Every time there's noise, I swear it gets picked up by everything I'm recording on.
I saw you later.
Yes. Can I mention something real quick? There was a part of the movie that actually referred to something. I don't know if you guys captured it as well, but when in the movie Joker, when Joker is introduced onto the stage, one of the things that really caught my attention was when he approached the lady doctor and kissed her. And I know that it is in relation to the Dark Knight comic books, but what really popped in my head when I saw that, because I recently saw this video on YouTube, was Heath Ledger at the red carpet when he approached, when he was surprised by a fan and that's behind him, and the first thing he does, he just kisses her. And she's just freaking out. I was like, oh my God, she faints on the red carpet. And I don't know if anybody remembers that video. I think Nick remembers that video. But yeah, I when I saw that, I'm just like, wow. If that was in reference to Heath Ledger, to what he did that day, bravo. I loved it. It was great.
I didn't think that when I watched it, but I do remember that video. And now that it's in my head, I'm like, maybe that was a little tip of the hat. Tip of the fedora.
not a fedora.
My lady. That's my biggest fear, is that like fedora kids are just gonna like, remember V for Vendetta? Like, remember how like that's a great movie. It's an awesome movie. I like that movie as much as anybody. Like how many kids like just started wearing Guy Fawkes masks and like
keep it going. I gotta step away real quick.
Bye. Anyway. It's like we're off the chain, like no moderator. But it's like very all that like anonymous and all that, like everybody wearing the Guy Fawkes masks and just being like the government should be afraid of its people. And I'm like, I just don't want that for this movie. Like I don't want if I see even one person like wear makeup and being like stand on top of a cop car or some shit and the video goes viral, like I will like disown this movie. I'll be like, nope, never watching Joker.
Well, I really do think that the movie is very popular enough that it really did make me think that a lot of people are going to dress up as the Joker because for Halloween. Because I remember I even dressed up as the Joker when we got the Dark Knight 11 years ago for that Halloween. I myself personally, I painted my face. I put fake scars on the side of my mouth. I wore a green wig. It was a great time. But then when Suicide Squad came out several years back, a lot of people, especially within the area that I live in, a lot of people were dressed up as a Joker while their girlfriend was dressing up as Harley Quinn. So that was a very popular
that movie until Halloween.
Yeah, but it favored a lot of those couples out there who wanted to play those characters. So, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen the same thing this Halloween, where we're going to get a lot of Joaquin Phoenix Jokers dressing up as a Joker this Halloween.
The first job I ever had was at Party City, and it was 2008. It was like right after high school, and that was the costume. It was Joker, it was Dark Knight, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the movie, and High School Musical 3. Those were like the big things. And everybody was the Joker, and everybody was like, "Yeah, I want the purple coat." And only one dude came up and ordered the nurse costume. Like, he was like, "I want a number 8."
Wow.
I was like,
Was it you?
nurse outfit. I was like, I know what you're doing. And like, he like bought the makeup and all of a sudden he was like, yeah. And I was like, "You're gonna kill it. You're gonna crush it, man." Everybody else like wore the coat. Like, people wore the mask, and I remember thinking like, that's so lame. Why wouldn't you just paint your face? But
I'm still hanging on. You said 2008, right out of high school.
Yo, before we wrap this up, I want to cover something real quick. Like, Warner Brothers has kind of like locked in this first weekend of October as like a can't miss. Like, this decade, Gravity, Blade Runner, A Star Is Born. I feel like I'm missing something, but like, this has been like Warner Brothers like go-to weekend for like a big fall event movie.
yeah, because Star Is Born was last year, and it still did well against Venom. It was like,
Yeah.
that's why it was like number 2 with like 40-some million. People were like, well, I can't not see that too.
Yeah. And you know who's the real winner? That weekend,
The moderator.
the
Me.
cinematographer
Oh yeah,
of Venom and A Star Is Born is the same person,
Really?
he did
Oh yeah.
and he got an Oscar nomination for A Star Is Born.
or Venom.
You know, when you bring up cinematography, that actually brings up the idea as well about the cinematography of Joker too, because I don't know if you got the same reaction as I did, but for me, the way I looked at it is Gotham City. In the Dark Knight trilogy, I never believed the Gotham City to be in Gotham City. It always felt like either New York or Chicago or something like that.
First
Never
two
It was
were
literally
Chicago.
Yeah, it
Rises
never
was
really
Pittsburgh.
felt like its own world. So in this one, even though you got some New York vibes, to me, I really did feel like it brought me back to 1989's Tim Burton Batman movie, where it felt a little kind of like that sort of Gotham City, much more darker and down to earth version. And so I really did love this. I really did feel like I was in Gotham City.
Yeah, because there's like wide shots. It's like completely different than the beginning of The Dark Knight. Like they hone in on it, and the dudes are doing the heist.
Yeah.
It's like these, there's like trash on the ground and like trains and stuff like that. Yeah, I definitely got that vibe. I was like they did this on purpose. There's like a greenish hue because it's like kind of shitty outside. I was like, they did this on purpose. They wanted to make you feels more lived in, like you know where you are.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is Gotham City.
I mean, they wanted to give it that low class perspective.
Yeah. But yeah.
You know, something that we have not even mentioned yet?
So
Robert De Niro. Remember Robert De Niro in this movie? I mean,
he was in it.
Yeah.
I've never. I mean, even though that he has a partial take of the film, I mean, he's very rare in some of the scenes. So, but at the very ending, I mean, I watch a lot of late night. You know, I watch a lot of Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, and just all those great late night talk shows. And when I saw this, I think that he did great. I mean, I know that when I saw some reviews and some backstories of what Robert De Niro was getting himself involved in, is he had some history with having to doing a movie called Taxi Driver, and I never really saw that movie. What?
I was like, you say Taxi Driver, like you've never heard of it before.
No, I've never heard of it. I've never seen it, but having after to watching this movie and hearing about how it has a certain connection to it, it really has me excited to watch it myself. What?
I'm using 2 timeouts in the same quarter.
I know.
Have you seen a Martin Scorsese movie?
I've seen, what's that one with Leo DiCaprio, The Aviator? I've seen that.
Okay, that qualifies you. That's another inside.
So let's go with this.
That's another group chat inside joke.
Randy brought up another movie. Now, there's 2 parallels to 2 famous Scorsese movies. It's The King of Comedy. Have you seen that?
I have not.
I've only seen it once.
It's
It's been
I
a
think
while
these
since
movies are on Amazon Prime. The King of Comedy and Taxi Driver. There's a lot of parallels and nods to both of those movies.
But now that
It's
you've
really
seen
like
Joker,
those two movies like had a baby, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Robert De Niro was in both of them.
With a
That
lot
way
of
I can
fun.
watch them later.
now that you've seen Joker though, you're gonna like Joker more than those.
Trust.
Well, we'll see. I'll let you guys know what I think next time. So,
Have
yeah.
you seen Goodfellas?
Well, okay.
Oh, dude,
Do you
I got
remember-
podcast is over.
Remember several months back? Remember when I told you that I had somebody who requested watching a certain film, and you said that you were qualified in having to doing that to reviewing that video. But the thing is, I wasn't really in relations to that because I don't really watch gangster films. So it's really hard for me to feel more intrigued by those movies. I mean, I've tried to watch movies like Scarface and like you said, Goodfellas and things like that. But it's just so complicated for me to feel that certain connection. I don't really feel that lure to that certain genre. So,
Do you feel
but,
like they're not cinema and should just be shown in streetway back alleys?
That's like the perfect antithesis to what Martin Scorsese said. Be like, gangster movies aren't. That's not cinema. Casino is trash. The Departed, trash.
You bite
The
your tongue.
Godfather, I haven't watched those either. The same
wow.
thing. I know a lot of open eyes here, but
Man,
you know,
you got
that's
some homework to
a
do.
genre that really doesn't lure me into. So, but
I got
I'm trying to do my very best in getting to watching it because I really want to throw out my point based off of those movies. In no relations at all to whatsoever to any other related movie that's very popular now to date. So, but it's something that I'm really trying to get myself intrigued with.
Well, the topic for the next podcast will be, what has Joe watched in the past 2 weeks?
Just watch Gangster Squad with Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling. And
Wrong Ryan,
that's
bro.
it. That's all you ever have to watch. Just like I watched a gangster movie, fellas. Gangster Squad.
Yeah,
There it is.
I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of movies, especially new ones. Every other day. So
Try some old
right.
ones every so often.
I try. So
Yeah. See, the thing is with that is I've seen a lot of great movies, and I can name a lot where none of them were intriguing enough for me to pursue. You see, they don't have to. Fight Club, for one. That's a more recent, what I call a great movie. I saw the trailer. I want to watch a movie, a bunch of dudes fighting in the damn basement. And the movie, when I saw it, was much more than that.
It took me
And,
a second to watch Fight Club. Probably like
yeah.
5 years.
But
God,
that's
fuck.
interesting about the gangster mobster movies, but a lot of those movies within that genre are great cinema. That's the thing about it, and especially, well, you're gonna have to watch. Well, actually, you could just go right into Godfather 2 because it's a prequel and a sequel.
Mm.
I
And
would
De Niro's
recommend
in
it, but you haven't. Or you could just
Gangster
watch.
Squad first.
Don't listen. Nick, he'll probably not know you're being sarcastic. He'll watch that.
Gangster
But like,
Squad first.
Hey, man,
But
it's from the
no,
director of Zombieland.
I'm making fun of Gangster Squad like I don't like it. I actually remember liking that movie. I just haven't watched it like since it
but
came
we're
out.
talking Gangster Squad is not on the tier
I
of
just
these
feel like
movies.
that's the turd of the group. It's like that's the movie that's like, hey, what about me? And it's like,
Like you stay your ass down there.
yeah,
man.
you're there.
We could even connect that back to all the Joker controversy, though, because the Dark Knight Rises incident led to the Gangster Squad getting edited or reshot, and then like one of the most,
That's true.
one of the like biggest scenes that was like, I want to see that from the trailer, ended up getting cut because of the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
to never
that's
be
true.
seen
I
again.
remember that.
But
That was
yeah, movies like Casino, Goodfellas, definitely those are. It's just
Departed.
masterclass of filmmaking,
Yes.
screenwriting, directing, acting. Joe Pesci and Goodfellas.
That's
Yeah,
the
these.
pinnacle.
Tommy DeVito is my hero.
Goodfellas is like everything to me.
Hashitashi 6'9" is more of a Henry Hill. Hey, every time I call him Hashitashi 6'9", we're way off tangent now. Nobody gets it. Nobody understands the Hashitashi.
Nah, yeah, Hashitashi. I'm with you. Though. That's one of my favorite episodes.
Yep.
What show?
Martin.
Like,
But,
buy me, Martin. Y'all don't know what we talking about.
Exactly.
It's like a super neat, like specific reference. I'm like, yeah, Martin. That one.
Hey, but we so off topic now. This is really a good ending point. We covered like 95% of what I wanted to talk about. Joe, you coming back in 2 weeks, or you got work and or family related stuff?
No. I will be. I'll be joining.
Good.
I'll be joining.
Good. Since it'll be the last October
really
episode. What's up?
I really want to talk about these movies that you guys are bringing up here. You know, King of Comedy, Taxi Driver, Gangster Squad, Goodfellas, The Godfather trilogy. All those. I'm going to go ahead and watch and let you guys know next time what I think.
No, not next time.
The Godfather 1 and 2.
Not next time, because I'll do a gangster themed, Scorsese themed episode at my second episode in November. So you got a while. When The Irishman comes out, we'll cover Scorsese in depth.
I can talk about movies all day, so I'm like really excited about that episode.
Next episode will be something horror related because it's October, so I want to do some type of scary movie, something. But when I come back though, it'll be sports, and I know it's day of recording, but it'll be NHL, MLB, and or boxing. I haven't decided yet. It is Rec League Podcast, and I know y'all probably turned it off already, but if you're still watching or listening, man, stick around. All right, man, it's sports, and like I said at the top, I didn't know if we was talking hockey and baseball. I didn't know if we was talking boxing. So we got the return. I don't even remember the last time I got old man Lawrence was on the pod. It's been a minute and a half. And man,
had some phone struggles there for a while. Got it all straightened out.
About time. And trust,
we had the
for the one or two of y'all that watch and listen to this show, I was nagging him every other Sunday. So man,
and like I got the iPad or whatever. We tried to get the Skype to work on the iPad, but for whatever reason, the iPad would not recognize my account. I don't know what the hell was going on with that. I don't know. It is what it is, I guess.
I don't even know.
But yeah, I'm back, baby.
Man, just talk boxing, man. Just catch up the one or two people that listen to the show. Catch them up on boxing.
Well, to catch them up on boxing for the whole year. This would be the first time I talk boxing all year, wouldn't it?
I don't think so. I'm sure you talk boxing in the spring.
Damn, I don't know.
I don't remember the last time you was on for real.
I think it's been a while, yeah. As far as boxing goes, I think the last boxing touched on was Fury Wilder maybe, and that was.
I think so. That sounds familiar.
That was fucking December.
I think I just saw like highlights of one of them dudes.
I'll just talk about what's kind of going on.
Yeah, the current. You took a trip for a match, didn't you?
What's that?
You took a road trip for a boxing match, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I went to drove out to Maryland see my boy Teofimo Lopez fight. Which he's kind of gone MIA since then, ironically. I'll just talk about the past month or so. So last weekend we had Errol Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter for the welterweight unification fight. A lot of people are hailing it as the fight of the year, and it's up there. Why are you making that face?
Marlon Mack just got it. Mack just got inside the five.
Even doing the podcast at the same time, man.
Hey, man. Multitask, man. Marlon Mack just ran inside the five.
For those of you listening right now, the Colts game is going on right now, so we both kind of got our eye on the screen. But last weekend, Errol Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter. Las Vegas odds were stupid for that. Sean Porter was a heavy underdog. And I actually didn't order the pay-per-view because I usually will go to the movie theater and check them out.
That's dope.
For whatever reason, man, Fathom Events wasn't showing this fight. So Fathom Events didn't have a lot of faith in this selling. So they didn't, no theater in Indiana. Well, there's one like way up north that got it. I was like, I'm not driving 2 hours to watch a damn fight. But I ended up going to a bar and watching it. A bar ended up buying it, so I was watching it there. I told people at the bar, man, like it was maybe 50 people in there to watch the fight. So like it was pretty lively, and I say 90% of everybody in there was for Errol Spence. He I want to say he's like 30, maybe 30, maybe 31, but he's got like the younger generation, like they're really attracted to him or whatever.
Hey.
So yeah, he's he's a cool kid. He's got swagger, whatever. He's got style, whatever the kids say. Yeah, I'm just being real. Like he's a fan favorite. Like a lot of people like him.
Yeah.
So Sean Porter was a heavy underdog, and I tried telling people there, like I had a couple guys sitting to my right, a couple guys sitting to my left or whatever. That I didn't know. They were just there watching the fight. I told them I was like, Sean Porter's he's a dog, man. He's gonna make a fight out of this, and he delivered. It was a hell of a fight. I actually had it a draw. So I know if people watch this, then they watch the fight. That's probably an unpopular opinion. They'll probably call me crazy, but Porter was giving him Spence all kinds of problems. Man, his footwork, his work rate in general. He throws a lot of punches and he comes at you from a lot of different angles. Errol Spence in the build up to the fight said he leads in with his head. Basically call him a dirty fighter. I wouldn't go that far to call him a dirty fighter. I say he's more of a brawler than he is a boxer.
Yeah.
And that sounds like I'm taking a dig at him, but I'm really not. It's just his fighting style. I don't think he's dirty at all. And if anything, I think Errol Spence was getting away with a lot of shots that were below the belt. The referee just was like letting go. Now I'm not saying they were low blows, but as far as like being low, like he had a lot of low punches that went unnoticed. But all that said, Errol Spence did win. It was a hell of a fight. He got a knockdown late in the 11th round. I mean, when I say knockdown, I mean Sean Porter got caught clean on the chin, and he goes down and barely touches the canvas with his glove to try to keep his balance. And if your hand touches the canvas, it's considered a knockdown. I mean, he barely touched the canvas and it was like right back up. So it was a knockdown. Like, it was a legit knockdown. But it's crazy because like as soon as he stands back up, he kind of puts his head back and he's like, damn it. So I think he knows at that point that he's in some serious trouble as far as points go. But man, I got chills. My man gets up, the referee's giving him a standing 8 count. He's like, hey, nah, you want to continue? He looks over Errol Spence. He's like, let's go. Like he's yelling. He's like, let's go. And he waves him over. Bro, I got chills. I sit at the bar watching this fight. Like, I got chills. Because I got up on my seat. I was like, let's go. Because I told everybody they were sleeping on Porter. I was like, Porter's going to make a fight out of this. And it was a damn entertaining fight. Really good fight. It delivered. It was $75 for the pay-per-view. Like I said, I didn't pay it. I didn't feel comfortable paying it. But it had a hell of an undercard on it. So, yeah, I think it was money well spent if you did buy it. And if I did buy it, like, I wouldn't have been upset. So, yeah, I've been happy with it. And then last night we had Triple G versus Derevyanchenko. I just butchered his name. I know. He was 13-1. His only loss was the Danny Jacobs, who was a stud. We all know that, who recently lost to Canelo Alvarez, who is on everybody's pound for pound list, one of the best fighters to do it. So he was no scrub, and he gave Triple G more than he can handle, honestly. I thought Derevyanchenko, I thought he won, honestly. Triple G scored a knockdown in the first round. Kind of hit him on the back of the head. Equilibrium thing. He kind of lost his balance, so he went down. So that made it a 10-8 round. And I want to say I had Triple G winning the first 3, maybe just the first 2. But there was a stretch from like round 2 or 3 where I thought Sergi ripped off like 5 or 6 rounds in a row. Like he was on the inside. He was working. Triple G couldn't figure him out. He tried to do his thing with a jab, but Sergi was just eating him and kept coming forward and was landing. He was countering. He was sharp. I thought it was a damn good fight, and I actually thought Sergi won. There was a lot of rounds in the middle that could have gone either way. That's the thing about boxing. We all kind of judge fights differently as far as what we like. It's always controversial when it comes down to a close fight. It was a split decision. 2 judges thought Triple G won. One judge thought Sergi won. Like I said, I thought Sergi won, but there's 4 or 5 rounds that could have gone either way, just depending on what you like. But so a couple good weekends in a row of boxing. Actually coming up, man, boxing's gonna be real crazy. To close out the month, we got Usyk He's fighting this upcoming Saturday, and that'll be on the Zone. He's making his leap into the heavyweight division. After unifying the welterweight division and moving up, he cleaned house there. So it's his first heavyweight fight. Is this weekend on the Zone. I think he's fighting in Chicago. Then we also got the weekend after that. I don't know if my date's right, but the 18th we got Beterbiev versus Vosdick, light heavyweight unification fight going down on ESPN. I'm pretty sure it's on regular ESPN and not ESPN Plus. So that's kind of a good thing. It'll get some casual fans a good chance to see a really good fight.
Yeah.
We got Shakur Stevenson fighting this month also, I want to say. And then after that, I want to say there's one more. I think I'm missing one as far as October goes. I'm going to kick myself because I don't know if anybody on here will bring it up, but it's like I'm missing one more in October. But November 2nd, right after the game, we got Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev, the Crusher. Canelo jumping up 2 weight divisions to light heavyweight. It's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a badass thing if he can win that. Then we got the Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua rematch coming up. So yeah, there's lots of good fights coming up in boxing, man. Like if you're a boxing fan or a boxing casual, whatever you want to say, now's a good time because there's lots of good stuff coming up.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Follow Old Man Lawrence on Twitter for dope boxing insights and reaction. Was it Old Man Lawrence or Old Man _ Lawrence?
Old Man _ Lawrence. Well, I don't have too many followers on Twitter, but honestly, if you're going to follow me on Twitter, that's all you're going to get mostly is boxing stuff. Or hip hop or some NBA football stuff. But it's 80% boxing with me on Twitter.
That's what's up. When we bring it back, Old Man Lawrence still going to be here, and we're going to talk about that new Skyzoo album. Yo, packing the Mac in the back, no pun. When I'm rapping, I attack and I'm snapping, it's so fun. I do rule, I just lift the T to show gun. Criticize if you want, I never hit you for guidance. Your opinion ain't shit, bitch. Exercise silence. Look, man, you gotta back off, man. Yo, packing the Mac in the back, no pun. When I'm rapping, I attack and I'm snapping, it's so fun. I do rule, I just lift the T to show gun. Criticize if you want, I'd never hit you for guidance. Your opinion ain't shit, bitch. Exercise silence. Goth chicks looking like death. Bitches playing possum. White boys tell me that my bars are fucking awesome. We nice, just one rhyme of 3 minds. Y'all can't find a crack in the rec league design. They cry, tweet, and protest, but that dude won't resign. Rappers see my dominance and adjust. They can never get through me. Just fucking their young plans like Warner's did the Justice League movie. She might be a 10, but I be 9. These bars cancerous. No, wait, let me hit the doctor and see what the answer is. I'm a rhyme sayer as if I come from Minnesota. I become a rhyme sprayer, bitch. You know, then it's over. Alright, man, let's put a bow on this episode. Rec League Podcast, episode 27, right quick. Skyzoo dropped a new album, man. Skyzoo is one of the most underrated dudes, at least over the past, 10, 12 years. I first heard him on that Mac Miller, the High Life tape, and he just dropped a new album called, what's it called? He put a spin on Metropolis.
Retropolitan.
There you go, yeah, on Retropolitan. I want to say it's 10 to 12 tracks. I spun it once and a half. I think it's dope, but I can't quote any tracks or any bars or anything like that. So just like boxing, man, this is really all you.
Yeah, it's a new project from Skyzoo and Pete Rock. Of course, we all know Pete Rock, the legend. Yeah, when I first heard Skyzoo was coming out with a new project, for whatever reason, when it was first announced, I read Pete Rock, and then some time went by, and I was talking to somebody. I was like, "Yo, yeah, Skyzoo got a new album coming out. It's got Madlib. Madlib's doing it," and I was like, "That's gonna be dope as fuck." And then I looked it up. I was like, when is that coming out? And I looked it up again. Saw Skyzoo and Pete Rock. This is 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Looked it up, and it was Skyzoo and Pete Rock. I was like, oh shit, it's Pete Rock. So but yeah, it's a dope ass album. Like you said, Skyzoo is one of the most slept on cats. He's got hella projects out there. Like if you look back at his catalog, he's got hella projects. He just dropped one last year, and the year before that was the one he did with Apollo Brown, which is that album is, man, shout out to Apollo Brown. He's got another getting a little off topic here, but he's got an album coming out very soon. You got your iPad up? You should pull that up and check out the date on that. I think it's working with Detroit artists only. Apollo Brown, like something about Detroit. Can't remember what it's called. But anyway, back to the Retropolitan.
Hell no, my iPad did.
Oh man, I'll pull it up right here. But this album, like I said, it's got 12 tracks on it. Right off the gate, he comes in with like an introduction or a skit, whatever you want to say. I usually hate when rappers do that, but Skyzoo, when he does his album, it's kind of real dope how everything kind of ties in with his songs.
Hey, but it sounded like that dude on that skit. It sounded like the same dude that did the intro for like Kingdom Come or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But he's got a skit with from a segment of Richard Pryor on there.
Yeah.
And, that movie, can't think of what movie that is off the top of my head, but then he's got like, he's got a song talking about Penny Hardaway where he's got like,
that one was dope.
Yeah, he's got, that's the reason why I heard that song. Like I hit up Jason, I was like, yo, Jason, you need to listen to Skyzoo because this shit will take you down memory lane because he talks about a lot of stuff on it. It's like super dope.
What's the movie clip from 10 Days? Is that Paid in Full?
Yeah, that's the one that I was trying to think of, and I didn't Google it because I'm the type of person like when I hear something, like I hate to Google it and find out. I'm like, oh, you dummy, like that's where it's from. Like, I could not place what that was from.
Kick yourself when you figure it out. Because I could hear Mekhi Phifer clear as day, but I couldn't make out if the other dude talking was Wood Harris or not.
Yeah. You mean you're gonna have matching businesses in 10 years? He's like 10 years.
More like 10 days.
More like 10 days. And the song comes in.
That was dope.
Song. That's a stupid dope song. But Truck Jewels is probably my favorite song on there. Track number 3. And then he's got Styles P on there.
Yeah.
Like you said, 10 Days, Penny Jerseys, the Eastern Conference All Stars track towards the end. It's got a couple different people on there. It's got LZ on there, my man LZ. And LZ bodied that shit, man. I'm for real. Like, when LZ spit his verse, like I love Skyzoo. I know this is a cliche thing to do in hip hop when somebody bodied you on your own track or whatever. I know that's stupid and cliche, but LZ did his thing on this track, man. He killed this track. And after this is my first spin on the Skyzoo. After I heard this LZ, I finished out the Skyzoo album because I was working out. I was at the gym. After that, I went and threw on the Jericho Jackson album. Swear to God, LZ came so nice. I had to go throw on the Jericho Jackson. And I'm not trying to discredit the Skyzoo or whatever, but that LZ version was just amazing to me. His wordplay was stupid dope. But I've spun this Metropolitan quite a bit, and I don't think I like it as much as his last joint. And that's not I'm not trying to discredit this, but I will say the more and more I listen to it, I fucking love this album.
Yeah.
This is a dope ass album. Man. This has actually low key been a really good year for hip hop. I think we kind of had a couple months there where you had a couple releases kind of like sneak out there, but I think it's been a dope year overall. Like, I know you touched on Common and Joel Ortiz.
Yeah, like I'm telling you. I got like a 4 favorite albums of the year: Little Brother, Ortiz, Common, Skyzoo.
Yeah, don't get me started on Little Brother. That album is amazing. Yeah. The Common is really, really good album. Joel Ortiz album. I know I said you initially, first reaction like which album's better? I was like, Ortiz,
Yeah.
But now I'm leaning towards Common, and that Common album is
it's like
I'm not gonna say special. I'm not gonna call it a classic, but it's a dope ass album. It's a really good album.
It's like I highlighted on the last episode. I talked about that Common and that Ortiz, man. Like I gravitate more towards that New York style, man. But Common's delivery is so smooth. You can't knock it.
Yeah, and he's just a dope lyricist, man. And he talks about some real shit. And like I kind of touched on this in the group chat or whatever. I know I'm getting sidetracked, but the Joel Ortiz album and the Common album are very similar.
Very similar.
Very similar. They talk a lot about the same subject matter. Obviously, they go about it in completely different ways. Like you said, Joel Ortiz got that East Coast style.
Yeah. And
coming straight out the Chi-Town.
That Fifth Story might be one of my favorite tracks all year, though. Just singular tracks. That was genius.
Yeah. But low key, I hate that song because it ends the way it ends. I don't know if we can do spoilers or whatever, but I was really hoping for as somebody. Yeah, I was really hoping for a happy ending at the end of that track. Let's just say that.
Amen.
But
life doesn't always have happy endings.
Yeah, back to the Skyzoo Retropolitan. It's I don't think it's as good as In Celebration of Us. I don't think it's good as the Easy Truth that he did with Apollo Brown. But it's not taking anything away from it. I think this is a really dope album. And like I said, the more and more I listen to it, the more and more I like it. And Pete Rock does his thing on the production.
Yes.
Some dope ass beats on there. And it's just a good album, man. Like he's not gonna blow you away with any like punchlines or metaphors or nothing like that. But as far as delivery and style, his steez, man, Skyzoo, he's up there. Like he dropped one line. He's like, "You break the top 20, well, I'm at least half of that," or something like that. He had a line along those lines right there. And
he had one line. I'm not gonna remember it now, but it was like real subtle, but it was like referencing like an animated movie, and I might be reaching. But it was Rio. He was like, you can't get off the ground like Rio. And I remember like the cartoon movie Rio, the bird couldn't fly. I don't know if that's where he was going or not.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's not a punchline rapper. He's really not. He's a fucking MC. And he'll throw his lines in there every now and then. You're like, damn, and you'll have to rewind that shit back. You have to shout out to the new iPhones having the lyrics mode on there. Have you messed with that yet?
No.
Yeah, there's like a lyrics mode on the Apple Music now. That shit's dope.
All right.
So it'll you know how you used to bring up lyrics and it'll just give you the lyrics?
Yeah.
That shit goes along with the music now. It's dope. So it's like it'll scroll as music playing. So yeah, but there's a few tracks on there where I'll have to pause and go back and listen to that shit again. But yeah, I give it Skyzoo a 4, man.
Yeah.
Maybe even a 4.5. I know artists that I like. Some people could probably think that I'm a little bit biased or whatever, but he's one of my favorite artists the past 4 or 5 years, and this is a really dope project. I like it a lot.
That's what's up. Unless some like surprise album just drops in the next 2 weeks, man. Like we might just go back and like highlight just a random rapper and their projects.
Yeah, like I was talking about the Apollo Brown album. I was trying to pull it up, and I got distracted because I didn't want to lose my train of thought on the Metropolitan. But he just did the Mona Lisa with Joe Ortiz.
Fire.
Sincerely Detroit. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, like it's all Detroit artists. Because Apollo Brown himself is from Detroit. But I'm pretty sure that everybody on the album is linked to Detroit some way or another.
Kid Rock.
This is from his tweet. Sincerely Detroit, featuring 56 of your favorite Detroit artists.
Damn.
Check out 56, yeah. Check out the first single, God Help Me, featuring Black Milk, Catchphrase, and DJ Los. Pre-order now. I don't know. October 29th. There we go.
All right.
Excuse the cough.
We might talk about that one on that first November episode.
Yeah, for sure. That would be a dope album.
But that's it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as long as it ran. Hopefully you stuck around for the whole thing, man. So chill until the next episode.